This evening on ENN Tonight.
3 reported outbreaks of bird flu have hit North Carolina.
The whole nationwide is built on trying to stamp out the virus quickly to prevent its spread to other domestic poultry farms.
Stores may now limit the number of eggs customers can buy.
And Lakeside Dining Hall repeats past health code violations.
Those stories and more,
ENN Tonight
starts now. Good evening, and thank you for joining us for ENN Tonight. I'm Abigail Hines.
And I'm Abby Gravely. Tonight we begin with the continuing bird flu epidemic.
Bird flu cases are rising across the country with a new variant affecting farms in multiple states, including right here in North Carolina. ENN's Charlotte Fabi took a deeper look at the outbreak.
Bird flu numbers are on the rise across the nation, hitting 28 states and Puerto Rico over the past 30 days. The new strain of avian flu, D1.1, spreads to animals through contact with wild birds.
This virus has just been very relentless as far as this ongoing outbreak.
Michael Martin, the director of the Veterinary Division at the North Carolina Department of Agriculture, says the most recent bird flu outbreak isn't the first of its kind. According to Martin, North Carolina saw positive cases of bird flu as early as 2022. As egg prices soar in the grocery store, Martin says the recent outbreaks are not the only cause of the rising costs.
All of those egg farms across the country over the course of 3 years being affected really affects the supply chain for eggs, and as such, these eggs prices do go up.
Martin says since bird flu spreads quickly, isolation is difficult as most of the flock is infected before signs begin to show. However, he recommends that owners of domesticated birds refer to official resources from the Department of Agriculture as well as their veterinarians.
The virus is really hot right now. It's spreading right now. There are concerns, and you can never say never, never say always, but there's no evidence to suggest that this is the next pandemic.
While there are reported cases of bird flu in humans, experts say it's still safe to consume chicken and eggs that are fully cooked and emphasize only drinking pasteurized milk. Charlotte Fabi, ENN Tonight.
Experts say biosecurity measures such as limiting contact between farm birds and wildlife will be key in slowing the spread of this outbreak, but they also warn that as migratory seasons change, new hotspots could emerge in different parts of the country.
This bird flu, officially called avian flu, has caused the price of eggs to skyrocket and led to some grocery stores limiting the number of cartons customers can buy. Trader Joe's, Walmart, and Aldi are just some of the supermarkets limiting the number of cartons per checkout. Egg prices rose 15.2% in January alone and are now 53% higher than a year ago due to bird flu-related shortages. Over 40 million egg-producing birds have died from bird flu, causing a severe shortage of eggs nationwide. In North Carolina alone, just over 3 million, or 14% of all egg-laying birds, have died because of the outbreak. The national average price of eggs is $4.95, with prices in Burlington stores hiking up to $6.18 for a dozen, and over $9 for a carton of 18.
Lakeside Dining has had repeated health violations, with some happening since last May. The Alamance County Health Department issued these violations, and some of which include non-food touching surfaces of equipment needing to be cleaned in a specific way to prevent soil residue and storing certain foods at incorrect temperatures. These violations were issued in May of 2024, October 2024, and recently on February 5th. After reaching out to Elon Dining, ENN has not received any comment on these repeat violations. Lakeside is one of 3 dining halls on campus, and students who eat there were not too shocked that these violations continued.
I mean, it's fun. It doesn't bother me all that much. I think they could probably do a lot worse.
I trust the food rating system. If it was too low, I feel like it would be out of business. It is gross, but I think it's not to the level where I wouldn't eat.
Food inspections are typically every 4 months.
And now we're heading over to the site of the new Health EU building, where our Fiona McAllister is live on the scene to tell us what we can look forward to in the coming weeks. Fiona, what are you seeing about upcoming construction?
2, 1. That's right. I'm here across from East Commons where Elon's new Healthy U building is preparing for some construction to head our way. I mean, you can even see behind me, there's some small bulldozers, there's some metal scraps to go along with the construction process. And even right next to me over here in this trailer, there are the blueprints for the new building's layout and the design for what's going in Healthy U. I went into the trailer myself and even saw them. I've been told that Healthy U is supposed to take up all of this space from over here until you reach Clohan. Even those trees, including the possibility of taking them down, that separate Clohan and Colonies from the empty lot over here. Elon's new health director, Elon's director of planning, told me that the surveyor of this site is planning to take the layout of the site protections during groundwork just to make sure it meets government requirements. I mean, so you can expect to see some construction fencing around this area, mostly for safety purposes, and new utilities will be popping up all over this area in the next coming weeks. That's all I have for you on the grounds of Healthy U. Back to you in the studio.
Yeah, thanks for that update, Fiona. ENN will be checking back in on getting continuous updates regarding Healthy U.
Elon's Doherty Center for Creativity, Innovation, and Entrepreneurship has a new director. The Doherty Center, which states on its website that it sponsors entrepreneurship-themed co-curricular activities open to all majors, announced last week that entrepreneur and Elon parent Dina Rousset has moved into the director role. Rousset, who was tenured at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, posted on LinkedIn about her new role, saying, "As I settle into this new role, I look forward to collaborating with all of you who share a passion for entrepreneurship and innovation."
Up next, I'll have your Phoenix 5-day forecast.
And the last event in the Active Citizen Speaker Series.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
You gotta stop with that depressing stuff. That's what white people think. You alright?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you wanna talk about it?
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
Whether it's our stories, the warmth of our laugh, or our family's secret sauce, we all bring something different to the table. So make some space. The power of connection is waiting right outside your comfort zone. Learn how you can help strengthen your community at belongingbeginswithus.org/teamup.
There's only one thing that will save somebody's life, and that is naloxone nasal spray. Get 911 on the phone, get the emergency responses there on their way.
Yo, camping buddy. Okay, you guys ready?
Dude, I thought you were driving.
I thought you were driving.
Oh, I never said I was driving. I definitely can't drive.
Okay.
If you're high, just don't drive. It's illegal everywhere. If you feel different, you drive different.
Hate is loud, but love is the majority.
After several days of rain, we are finally seeing some sun. Our Mackenzie Cruz is here to give us the forecast for this week. Mackenzie, what should we expect to see?
Thanks, Abigail. After this windy and rainy weekend, the temperature is going to start to drop this week. Now for your Phoenix 5-day forecast. Tonight will be a low of 25 with clear skies. Tomorrow we'll see partly sunny skies with a high of 49 and a low of 27. Wednesday, it's going to drop down to a high of 31 with a low of 20. This winter storm is going to bring 1 to 3 inches of snow and some ice. Thursday will bring the sun back out, but it'll only get up to 34 during the day and drop to 13 degrees at night. Finally, Friday and Saturday will continue to be sunny with highs in the low 40s and a low of 15 and 25 respectively. We saw a lot of rain and wind this past weekend that rained out games and flooded Rudd Field. That should ease up this week, but Wednesday's storm will bring snow and more freezing rain. That's all for now. Back to you in the studio.
We'll be hearing from Mackenzie later on in the show for an update on the snow we're expecting.
On Saturday, Elon University admissions hosted their annual spring open house. Over 300 families came to visit Elon to see all it has to offer. Despite the heavy rainfall, all activities proceeded as planned. Prospective students and families had the opportunity to explore campus, attend information sessions, get on a campus tour, and have lunch in a dining hall.
Great. We thought the tour was great. Again, we were very wet, but other than that, it was a great tour. Very interesting. We are just starting the process, so this was a great kickoff for us.
Keep an eye out for more prospective students on campus as Elon hosts one of 2 scholarship weekends starting Friday.
The Trump administration imposed a 10% additional tariff on imports from China and has reinstated the de minimis rule, a precedent that encouraged duty-free imports of low-value items from foreign places. With China producing 31.6% of the world's clothing, stores known for lower prices like Shein and Temu have had a shocking rise in prices. Tariffs are designed to drive consumers to invest in domestic American products by intentionally raising prices on foreign products. China imposed retaliatory tariffs on February 10th on an estimated $21.2 billion of American goods, according to a study done by the Tax Foundation.
President Donald Trump recently signed an executive order to ban paper straws. ENN's Olivia Berger went to Irazu Coffee Shop to see how this may affect Elon students.
Coffee is a big part of any college student's day, but a new executive order could impact how they drink it. The order immediately stops federal purchasing of paper straws and has a national strategy of phasing them out within 45 days.
So I think I didn't really see paper straws being offered around campus very much, mostly plastic, so I don't think a big effect here specifically, but in other places where they do offer both, I think that would make a change.
The order immediately stops federal purchasing of paper straws and has a national strategy of phasing them out within 45 days.
I'm not a fan of paper straws personally, just because how they dissolve in your mouth kind of, but I don't really think that they should have been banned.
I mean, more plastic being produced is never good. I think also banning them completely is kind of ridiculous. I think there should always be the option to have them.
Not everyone is on board with the complete ban of paper straws.
I think this is one step in the wrong direction, and I am thinking that there's going to be more wrong steps in the future.
Olivia Berger, ENN Tonight.
Keep up with Elon News Network for more information on Trump's executive orders.
To end Elon's Active Citizen Speaker Series, Elon hosted University of North Carolina Chapel Hill political science professor Jeff Spinner-Hayliv to talk about the studies behind his new book, Respect and Loathing in American Democracy. ENN's Angelina Fantaroni has a recap of the event.
Just like Spinner-Hayliv said, from football to politics, conversations can get tricky.
When people talk about mutual respect, the images they often conjure up is of people talking to one another. But we think actually that's not always the best way to get information. Sometimes when you're talking to someone you disagree with, you want to throttle them, and that doesn't really help with listening. So there's other ways to listen, right?
With many students attending for class assignments, they say events like these bring a new perspective to important topics.
Every speaker has different things that they cover on, and so you can learn different things from people who aren't your teachers or classes that you're not signed up for, because anyone can come to these.
30 minutes were given for students, staff, and faculty to engage in a Q&A with the author. Angelina Fantaroni, ENN Tonight.
Now that the 2024 elections are over, Elon University hopes these events leave a lasting mark on civil discourse in and out of the classroom.
Coming up, an exclusive interview with the 2025 commencement speaker.
And after the break, I'll tell you how women's basketball played
this weekend.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Even more than I wanted a gold medal, I wanted a heart of gold, like the mentors who were my balance beams refusing to let me down, and the coaches who spoke out to anything out of bounds, heroes who never stood on podiums, but stood up for me. Every shot I made, give the assist to those who since my youth were referees, ready to blow the whistle and end abuse.
I rescued Toast from a shelter in 2011. I love Toast because she's a lazy diva. Toast does whatever she wants, obviously. She's sleeping right now. She's an epic snuggler. She's so comforting. She's so loving. Toast makes me laugh. When I walked into the shelter, I knew right then that she was special.
Kudos, Carl. You've always had a need for speed. Racing anything with wheels, speed reading novels in record time, yelling out 3, 2, 1 at every traffic light. But this time, you've taken your power obsession to the next level. By purchasing this electric vehicle, you've given yourself instant torque that blows your old launch times away, which will keep you saying, woo-wee, every time you punch the pedal. Good for your adrenaline, great for the planet. That's the power of EV.
With graduation just 3 months away, Elon University recently announced this year's commencement speaker, Elon alum Wes Durham. Our Miles Hayford sat down with Durham to see how he's preparing for the event.
And kind of about that, what you're going to say in May, what kind of lessons have you kind of learned in your career that you hope graduates will take to heart?
Well, I think one of the things that'll be probably in my remarks will be, I've been very blessed in my career to see incredibly successful people achieve things in sports. I had the good fortune of calling all of Calvin Johnson's games at Georgia Tech as a college player, and obviously he was a first ballot Pro Football Hall of Famer. And Calvin Johnson was inspiring to watch play games, but he was even more inspiring and impressive to watch him practice and his philosophy in practice. The other person that impacted me in my career in terms of just his work ethic, and he was already accomplished when he had come to Atlanta to play for the Falcons, was Tony Gonzalez. And Tony Gonzalez went through a work ethic every day in practice that pretty quickly told you why he was going to be a Hall of Fame player. And some of those things I think they attracted me to those guys, not because they were good, but because of what they did to be good. And I think that's part of the lesson we have to learn here is, you know, there's an old saying that Coach Smith used to have at North Carolina, the longtime basketball coach there, that success is not a destination, it's a constant journey. And that's something that Calvin and Tony both kind of, you know, reinforced with me. And I think it's really important to remember when you leave here with a degree, you're empowered. You're empowered for success. But that success is not a finish line. You keep moving in it. And so that's part of, I think, what I'm working around to in May. And I think it's something that is really prominent here.
For the full interview, check out our website, elonnewsnetwork.com.
After starting the Elon Softball Phoenix Invitational with a low-scoring 2-1 win over Morgan State, Elon's softball offense exploded and beat the University of Pennsylvania 10-1 on February 14th after only 5 innings, after the run rule declared the game over. ENN sports editor Miles Hayford has more on the game.
After a low-scoring pitcher's duel against Morgan State, Elon softball came out swinging against Penn, scoring 10 runs in 5 innings. Head coach Kathy Bocock believes the team came out attacking more in the second game.
You know, coming off that first game, I don't think we did a very good job adjusting to the pitcher. She did a nice job throwing the game, but we have to do a better job, quicker job adjusting to the pitchers. So we talked about it a little bit, and the team, they talked about it. So then I think they were able just to start attacking instead of sitting back waiting.
The team got off to a quick start, scoring 6 runs within the first 2 innings. Senior Allie Searing led the team with 3 RBIs and a home run. Searing also praised the team's defense as pitcher Isley Duggins only allowed 1 run.
Isley did a really great job pitching, as per usual, but our communication is top tier, always talking, and just always making good plays regardless of the situation.
Searing said these early tournaments helped the team prepare for the rest of the season by allowing the players to learn about each other.
These are really important going into season. Obviously, conference is where it really matters, but these do matter too. Knowing our strengths, learning ourselves, and kind of each other also. On the field, during at-bats, knowing our strengths is really important.
After their win over Penn, Elon's final 2 games in the tournament were canceled due to weather. Elon moves to 3-4 thanks to the 2-game win streak. Miles Hayford, ENN Tonight.
The Elon women's basketball team faced off against Campbell University yesterday. And Kathan Gandhi is here in studio to give us a recap of the game. Kathan, how did the Phoenix play this weekend?
Yeah, Abby, inconsistent may be the word of the season for Elon women's basketball. They've had moments where the offense looks unstoppable, like their latest win against UNC Wilmington, but other times their offense feels stagnant, slow, and unconnected. Coming into a big-time matchup against the Campbell Fighting Camels, who entered this game hot on a 4-game win streak, Elon head coach Charlotte Smith said the mindset was pretty simple. Be active on defense and take the Camels out of their flow. This game had big potential for the Phoenix, possibly vaulting them into the top tier of CAA rankings with a win or pushing them back down to the middle of the pack with a loss. I was right there at the court for all of this game to see how everything actually went down.
From tip-off, it was clear that the Phoenix were in for a close battle. This matchup was scrappy, with the lead never getting greater than 7 for either team. Elon excelled defensively, but there was one sound they could not escape. 1,000 turnovers held the Phoenix from gaining momentum offensively. Despite the team's woes, freshman Jada Angel was a spark plug off the bench, knocking down mid-range shots to keep the Phoenix in the game. After a Jada Angel shot to end the third, the team entered the fourth with a 38-34 lead. Those would be the last points Elon would score for roughly 9 minutes, as Campbell went on a 10-0 scoring run. They ultimately lost 48-45. As Elon enters their last 6 games of the season, they look to find consistency. Kathan Gandhi, ENN Tonight.
The Phoenix next play the University of Delaware at home on February 21st.
Up next, I have an update on the winter storm advisory in Alamance County.
And one local business is leaving downtown Burlington.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed.
In 4 days. There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children. She didn't know what to do.
Did you have a good day at school?
She gave them some broth without any bread.
There you go.
And kissed them all soundly.
Night night.
Good night. And put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
Women are bad with money. That's what the world's been saying for centuries. But now, we've got something to say. Save it.
It's time to save ourselves by saving our money.
Until we're no longer 80% more likely than men to live in poverty in retirement.
Save it. The falsehoods, the feelings of fault.
Then, the funds. Learn how to save for your retirement at wesaysaveit.org.
I've always been told I gotta be strong. Thick skin, tough as nails. But to be everything for everybody, it wears on you. Black don't crack, they say. But it can. We all can. Reach out to a friend if you see them going through it. No matter who you are, being vulnerable is what makes us whole. Learn how to help at seizetheawkward.org.
After 8 years in downtown Burlington, Persnickety Books is packing up and moving to a new location. I spoke with the co-owner about this move.
Persnickety Books is packing up its store at the end of this week and moving to a new storefront less than a mile down the road. According to their co-owner, Ian Baltudis, the main reason for this move is the cost of their lease, which, if renewed, would be triple the cost.
We were not going to be able to pay what our landlord wanted to charge us for the lease going forward. And so we were at a make or break point where we had to decide either do we close the store or do we move it to a new location.
Persnickety has been in its current location for almost 6 years, and Baltudis says it will be hard to leave behind all the work they put into this space.
It's going to be sad to leave this place. There's a warmth and a lot of kind of energy we've put into curating this space. It's been an evolution over 6 years. We're just finding the right spot for this genre or this piece of art or this gathering space. And we're going to have to relearn all of that in the new space.
While Baltudis is sad to see the old place go, he says he's excited for what this new space will have in store for them.
I think it's really an opportunity for Persnickety Books to redefine itself as more of this third space that we've become as a business. While people look at us as a retail business filled with books, we're really more of a community resource, a place where people come to gather, to share ideas, to learn, and to inspire each other.
Baltudis says Persnickety will be open till the end of this week, and the move will start February 22nd. They are hoping to do a soft opening March 1st. Abigail Hines, ENN Tonight.
Yeah, so Abby, what can you say about this new location? Have you been there? What can customers expect?
Yeah, so after talking to the co-owner of Persnickety, I drove down to the new location, which is actually about less than a mile away from the current location, so not too bad, but it is unfortunately away from downtown Burlington. And Baltudis talked about missing that foot traffic that comes, from the area with all of those restaurants. But he said that they have such a strong community and so many supporters that they're really not too worried about customers, not being able to make it out to their store. They're planning to move this weekend, so we'll see how long that takes, and we'll have more updates soon.
Awesome,
and for more information on the move, grab a copy of this week's Pendulum.
Well, the last few weeks have thrown us for a loop weather-wise. Mackenzie Cruz is back to give us the updates we have all been waiting for. Mackenzie, will we see snow this week?
Thanks, Abby. Like I mentioned earlier, we are going to see 1 to 3 inches of snow on Wednesday, as well as ice, sleet, and freezing rain. Over J-term, campus saw some snow, but no more than an inch. The Piedmont Triad area hasn't seen more than an inch of snow in almost 5 years. This storm is coming from all of the snow and freezing rain that's out west right now, and it's going to move over to us by Wednesday. There's a trough going through North Carolina today that will move out to the Atlantic by tomorrow. A trough is an extended area of low pressure, and that brings unsettled weather like wind and precipitation. We will see a high of 31 on Wednesday, but it will feel like 27 due to high winds. Those winds will continue at night, and it will make 21 feel like 8 degrees. So please be careful because the roads will be slippery. That's all I have. Back to you at the desk.
Be sure to keep an eye out for Elon e-alerts and stay safe in the snow.
So how are you feeling about the snow?
I'm very excited about the snow. I don't see snow often where I'm from, so I'm excited. Well, that's all the news we have for you this evening. Thank you for joining us.
Head over to our website, elonnewsnetwork.com, for stories, sports, and more.
Make sure to follow us on social media at Elon News Network.
And don't forget to check out ENN Radio on Spotify.
Have a great night, Elon.